My child, stop what you're doing and listen to me now. This moment is holy. The noise around you can wait, for I am speaking directly to your heart. You have cried in silence, carried pain no one else could see, and wondered if I still hear you. I do. I have come to tell you something urgent, something that heaven itself is leaning close to declare. I will heal you if you give me 1 minute. Just one. One sacred breath, one willing pause, and I will begin to mend what years have tried to destroy. Listen closely. This is your moment of divine restoration. Listen, my beloved. Can you feel that stirring within your chest, that soft ache that refuses to leave you alone? That is me. It is not coincidence, not imagination, not just emotion. It is my voice, quiet, steady, reaching into the corners of your soul where no one else can go. You have heard it before, haven't you? In the stillness of the night, when your thoughts run deep, or in the brief silence between your sighs, something inside whispers, there is more. That whisper is my call. I do not shout above the noise of your world. I speak in the silence, because I know that is where your heart listens best. You have looked for me in the storms and the earthquakes, but I have been in the gentle wind brushing against your spirit, waiting for you to turn your gaze toward me, just for 1 minute. You think that your life must first be perfect before you can hear me clearly. You think that the noise, the busyness, and the guilt have pushed me too far away. But I tell you now, nothing separates you from my nearness. Even when you cannot feel me, I am woven into the fabric of your being. I am the quiet pull you feel when the world grows heavy, the longing that tells you you're meant for something beyond this pain. Every tear that fell when no one was there to see, I caught it. Every time you whispered, "God, are you still with me?" I answered, "Yes, my child, I am here." You do not need to climb a mountain to find me. You do not need perfect words or grand rituals. All I ask is 1 minute, one sacred breath where your heart turns toward mine. That single moment of stillness is enough for my presence to flood your weary soul. My voice is not distant. It is alive in the air around you, in the rhythm of your heart, in the very pulse that sustains your life. When you quiet your soul, you will sense it more clearly, the steady heartbeat of heaven echoing inside of you. I am not calling you to religion. I am calling you to relationship. I want you to feel my nearness as real as the warmth of sunlight on your skin. I have been walking beside you through every valley, waiting patiently for you to look up and realize I never left. You have chased answers, comfort, and healing in many places, but I have always been the source you were searching for. Let this be the moment, this 1 minute, where you stop running and simply let me be near. Listen not with your ears but with your heart. I am speaking now, softly but surely. I have called you by name. You are mine. Would you like me to continue to message to the burden you carry in the same divine tone and structure? You have been carrying more than anyone truly knows, haven't you? The smile you wear has become a shield, one that hides exhaustion, disappointment, and quiet fear. I see how you wake up some days already tired, already heavy with the weight of yesterday's battles. You tell yourself you're fine, that you'll push through, but I know the truth beneath the surface. You have been carrying memories that ache, responsibilities that press upon your shoulders, and expectations that drain your strength. Yet even in your hidden weariness, I am near. I have watched you struggle to hold it all together when no one offered to help, and I have whispered softly, "You don't have to carry this alone." But too often, you've believed that letting go means weakness. My child, letting go in my presence is not weakness, it is worship. When you surrender, you create space for me to move. I have seen the burden of guilt you hold, the kind that doesn't leave, the kind that follows you like a shadow whispering lies that you are unworthy. I have seen you replay moments you wish you could change, the words you wish you had not said, the opportunities you fear you wasted. But listen carefully, I never intended for you to live under the weight of regret. I came so that you could be free, fully, deeply, completely free. Every sin, every failure, Every misstep was already nailed to the cross before you ever took your first breath. You are forgiven not because you deserve it, but because I love you. My grace is not fragile. It does not expire when you fall again. And I see the burden of fear, the quiet terror that you'll never be enough, never be loved the way your heart longs to be. You have tried to fill that emptiness with distractions, with achievements, with the approval of others, but still, it remains. Only my love can fill what the world cannot satisfy. I want to lift that weight from you. If you would only pause, if you would give me just 1 minute, I would begin to untangle every knot of anxiety, every thread of doubt. My hands are strong enough to hold what's been breaking you. You were never meant to carry so much alone. Let me carry you instead. Do you know, my child, that a single moment with me can change everything? The world measures power in years and accomplishments, but I measure transformation in surrender, in the heartbeat between despair and trust. 1 minute in my presence can do what a lifetime of striving cannot. You think you need time, strength, or understanding to be healed, but I tell you the truth. All I need is one willing heart. When you open that door, even for 60 seconds, heaven floods in like light through a broken window. My power does not wait for perfect conditions. It responds to faith, even when that faith trembles. In 1 minute with me, chains can fall without effort. Memories that haunted you for decades can lose their power. The pain you thought you'd always carry can dissolve like morning mist in sunlight. I created time, but I am not bound by it. I can restore in moments what you lost over years. Do not underestimate what I can do in the stillness of a single moment. While you see minutes passing, I see eternity unfolding. Every breath you give me becomes an altar where miracles are born. You see, I do not ask for your time because I need it. I ask because I long to meet you within it. 1 minute of undivided attention, one heartbeat of openness, and my spirit can pour through your soul like a river through desert sand. Healing begins the instant you turn your gaze toward me. It does not require effort. It requires trust. I am waiting right now, ready to meet you in the very place where you think you've run out of strength. 1 minute can become the doorway to peace, to freedom, to the joy you thought was gone forever. All it takes is a pause, a breath, a simple "Here I am, Lord." Be still, my beloved, for I am waiting in the silence you often avoid. You fill your days with noise and motion because you fear what might surface when everything stops. But I am not found in the rush. I dwell in the stillness. In the quiet, I speak healing words that the noise of your life keeps drowning out. You think stillness means doing nothing, but it is in stillness that everything begins. When you stop running, your soul remembers who it is. The chaos outside cannot reach you when you sit in my presence. The storms that rage in your mind begin to calm, because they know my voice. I know how strange it feels to slow down when the world demands movement. But I am not asking you to withdraw. I am inviting you to breathe. Just breathe. Feel your chest rise and fall, and know that every breath is a gift from me. The stillness is not empty. It is filled with my presence. It is in those moments that I wash over your spirit, that I whisper peace into places you thought were too loud to ever rest again. You are not lazy for resting in me. You are being restored. When you allow stillness to enter your heart, you begin to see me in everything. The sunlight through your window, the rhythm of rain, the quiet in your own soul. You begin to recognize that I was never far. Healing flows most freely where there is silence, because silence is the language of trust. You do not need to fight, to fix, or to figure everything out. Just be still and know that I am God. Give me that 1 quiet minute, and I will give you peace that defies all reason. In stillness, your healing begins, not as a process but as a presence. You have held your pain for so long that you've almost forgotten what it feels like to live without it. It has become familiar, a constant companion, a shadow that follows you even into your quietest moments. But I did not create you to live with a wounded heart. I am the God who trades ashes for beauty, mourning for joy, heaviness for praise. When you come to me, I do not ask you to hide your pain or pretend that you are fine. I ask you to bring it, all of it. Bring the heartbreak you've hidden from others, the disappointments that harden your hope, the silent cries you've never dared to voice aloud. I see every part of it. And here, in the light of my presence, I invite you to exchange it, not by effort, but by surrender. You cannot heal what you continue to carry. You cannot find peace while clinging to the fragments of broken moments. My peace is not a fragile calm that depends on circumstances. It is a holy strength that rises within you, even when the world shakes. If you give me your pain, I will not merely numb it, I will transform it. The very thing that once wounded you will become a wellspring of compassion, of wisdom, of deeper love. My peace is not absence, it is presence. It fills the hollow spaces where sorrow once lived and reminds you that you were never abandoned. When you hand me your pain, I place my hand over the wound, not to reopen it, but to redeem it. You do not need to understand how it happens. You simply need to allow it. My spirit moves quietly, like the wind that bends trees but cannot be seen, and in its wake, peace begins to bloom where grief once grew. Do not fear losing your pain. It is not who you are. You are more than your suffering, more than your story, more than your scars. If you would just give me 1 minute, one holy breath of surrender, I would begin the divine exchange, your pain for my peace, your despair for my joy, your darkness for my light. You long for something real, something you can feel, something that reaches past the surface and touches what no human hand can reach. My child, my touch is that miracle. When you let me near, I do not just comfort you, I change you. My hand is not bound by distance or time. When I touch your life, everything responds. The same touch that formed the stars now rests upon you, not to condemn, but to restore. I have seen your trembling prayers, your whispered, "Lord, please help me," and I have answered not with thunder but with tenderness. My healing touch begins where words end, deep in the secret places of your soul. You have searched for healing in people, in places, in distractions that dull the ache for a while, but I am the one who heals from within. When I touch you, I do not just mend what is broken, I make it new. My touch silences the voice of shame, uproots fear, and fills you with a warmth that words cannot describe. You may not always feel it in your body first, sometimes it begins in your spirit, as a gentle reassurance that everything will be all right. That is me. That is my hand over your heart. When you open yourself to my touch, you allow heaven to meet earth inside of you. The same power that made the blind see and the paralyzed walk now flows through you. You may not realize it, but I have been touching your life all along, through every small mercy, every unexpected kindness, every moment when strength returned after you thought you had none left. I am not far. I am here, and I am touching the parts of you that life has wounded. Stay in this moment, just for 1 minute, and you will begin to feel it. The sacred warmth of my presence washing over you, mending what was never beyond repair. Before I heal what your hands can touch, I begin with what your eyes cannot see. Healing starts not in the body, but in the heart, because it is there that pain first takes root. You have covered the wounds of your heart for so long, hoping they would fade with time, but time does not heal what is left unspoken. Only my love can. You see, your heart was never meant to carry betrayal, rejection, or disappointment. Yet you've held on to them like armor, afraid that letting go would mean becoming vulnerable again. But I tell you, my beloved, healing does not come through walls, it comes through surrender. When I touch your heart, I do not just mend it, I transform it. I remove the bitterness that poisons your peace, the resentment that blocks your joy, and the self-blame that keeps you chained to the past. I know the names of those who hurt you, the moments that broke you, and the memories you've buried beneath your smile. I am not here to judge your pain. I am here to redeem it. Every hidden wound is an invitation for my love to enter deeper. When your heart begins to heal, everything else aligns. The body strengthens, the mind clears, the spirit rises. Let me reach that place within you that no one else has touched. I know you fear reopening what you've tried to forget, but I promise, my hand is gentle. I never reopen without restoring. I never expose without covering again in grace. Give me your heart, not the polished version, but the bruised, trembling, unguarded one. Let me hold it for 1 minute, and you will feel the shift, the weight lifting, the light returning. Healing begins in the unseen, and soon, what is unseen will become undeniable. For when your heart is whole, everything around you begins to live again. You have trusted so many things that have failed you, people who left, plans that crumbled, promises that turned to dust. So now, trust feels dangerous, doesn't it? You keep your guard up, not because you don't believe, but because you fear being disappointed again. Yet I am not like the ones who walked away. I am not fickle. I am not uncertain. My word does not shift like shadows with the setting sun. When I ask you to trust me, I am not demanding blind faith. I am inviting you into a relationship built on my unfailing love. Trust is the door through which my power flows freely into your life. Without it, fear reigns. But when you trust, even a little, that fear begins to dissolve. You don't need perfect faith, you just need honest surrender. Even your trembling yes is enough for me to move mountains. Trust is not the absence of questions. It is the choice to believe that I am still good even when you don't have all the answers. It is looking at the uncertainty and still saying, God, I know you are with me. Every act of trust is an act of warfare against the lies that have told you you're alone. When you trust me, you are not denying reality. You are aligning yourself with a higher truth, that I am sovereign, and that nothing escapes my sight. I see the road ahead, the unseen turns, the unexpected storms. You may not know where you are going, but you can trust that I do. When you release control and place your future in my hands, you will find that your heart grows lighter. Worry loses its grip. You begin to realize that trust isn't just about believing in my power, it's about resting in my love. When you trust me, I begin to rebuild the places inside you that fear destroyed. You no longer walk in panic, but in peace. You no longer react out of scarcity, but out of security. And in that space, healing flows naturally, effortlessly. Give me your doubts, give me your need to understand, and I will give you something greater, peace that transcends every explanation. For when you trust me, you invite the miraculous into your ordinary. Hope, my child, is not gone. It has only been buried beneath the rubble of disappointment. You have called yourself faithless, but I call you tender-hearted. You have mistaken fatigue for failure, but I see the flicker of light still glowing in you. Hope has not died. It is simply waiting for my breath to awaken it again. I am the God who revives what seems lost, who brings green shoots from barren soil. When you open your heart, even slightly, I breathe life back into the ashes. You do not need to stir hope by force. You need only make room for me. I know you have been through seasons that drained your belief. You prayed and waited, and sometimes it felt like the heavens were silent. You watched others receive what you longed for and wondered if I had overlooked you. But hear me. Delay is not denial. I have been working in hidden ways, building strength within you while you thought nothing was happening. Hope is not a fragile emotion. It is a divine seed, and I have planted it deep where storms cannot uproot it. Every moment you choose to look toward me instead of your fear, that seed grows stronger. Let hope rise again, not as wishful thinking, but as sacred confidence that I am still moving in your story. Hope is the whisper that says, this is not the end. It is the courage to believe that goodness will come again, even if it looks different from what you expected. You are not too late, and it is not too far gone. My timing is perfect because I am shaping you while I shape your destiny. In 1 minute of my presence, I can rekindle what the years have tried to extinguish. Let me breathe on your hope again, and watch it blaze brighter than before. You keep glancing over your shoulder, don't you? The past still speaks, whispering that you are bound to who you were, to what you've done, or to what was done to you. But I tell you now, you are not your past, you are my creation, constantly renewed by grace. I am not interested in condemning your history. I am here to redeem it. Every memory, every failure, every wound can become a window through which my mercy shines. You do not need to erase your past for me to heal it. You simply need to invite me into it. I step into your story not to remind you of your mistakes, but to rewrite them with redemption. You have carried guilt like a heavy garment, wearing it until it shaped your very identity. But guilt is not your covering, grace is. I see the nights you replayed decisions, the moments that haunt you, the what-ifs that echo in your mind. Yet none of those things define you in my eyes. When I look at you, I see possibility, not punishment. I see a life that can still shine with purpose, no matter how broken the chapters behind you appear. Let me wash your memories in the light of my truth. I will not erase them, I will transform them. Scars will remain, but they will no longer ache. They will tell stories of survival, of divine restoration. When you allow me to cleanse your past, you free your present. The same power that raised my son from the grave is at work in you, resurrecting what shame buried. Let this be your new beginning. Release the weight of yesterday and step into the light of now. Every regret is an invitation for grace to speak louder. I am not finished with you. 1 minute in my presence, and the stains you thought were permanent begin to fade into purpose. The past no longer holds authority over you, for you have been made new by the one who never stops redeeming. You thought I would stop at the surface, didn't you? You believed my healing would only touch one part of your life, the wound that hurt the most, the place where the pain screamed loudest. But I never stop halfway. When I begin to heal, I heal completely. My power does not run dry after one miracle. It flows like an endless river, touching every area of your existence until wholeness overflows. Healing in my presence is not confined to your body or your emotions. It seeps into the hidden corners of your soul, into the relationships that have strained, into the dreams you buried long ago. When my light enters you, it does not stop at the heart. It expands, transforming everything connected to you. You may not recognize it at first, but when I touch your life, you begin to notice subtle shifts. Where there was once fear, peace begins to grow quietly like dawn breaking after a long night. Where bitterness once took root, forgiveness blossoms unexpectedly. You start to breathe deeper, to love freer, to walk lighter. That is my healing working through you. It's not only about feeling better, it's about becoming new. Every healed part of you begins to heal others. Every scar turned into beauty becomes a testimony that brings hope to someone else's darkness. I never heal one soul for their sake alone. I heal so that my glory can ripple outward through you, like waves spreading from a single drop in still water. Let me take you deeper still. Healing is not meant to end, it is meant to overflow. My spirit moves through you like a river that never ceases, cleansing, renewing, restoring. You may find yourself forgiving someone you once thought you could never forgive, or finding compassion for those who wronged you. That is me, flowing through your healed heart. My desire is not only to mend what was broken, but to make you a vessel of healing for others. Stay close to me, and my peace will spill over into every conversation, every decision, every step you take. That is the fullness of my work, overflowing, abundant, unstoppable. Do not walk away once you feel whole. Healing is not a single moment to remember. It is a relationship to remain in. Too many come to me for relief but forget to stay for relationship. My child, I never intended for your healing to end with one miracle. I want to walk with you daily, to keep your heart in rhythm with mine. You do not visit me like a physician. You live in me like a home. The same presence that healed you will sustain you, but only if you stay near. When you drift, the world's noise grows louder. When you stay close, my peace anchors you. Connection to me is not a ritual. It's a lifeline. Every breath you share with me becomes another layer of strength, another wave of restoration. You see, I don't just want to fix what's broken, I want to teach you how to live whole. When you stay connected to my spirit, you begin to discern the subtle whispers that guide you away from what harms and closer to what gives life. You find yourself responding differently to pain, to people, to pressure. That is my life moving in you. You no longer live on survival. You begin to thrive in divine rhythm. The world may offer distractions, but they will never compare to the calm that flows when your heart beats in sync with mine. Think of it like this. A branch cannot bear fruit once it disconnects from the vine. It may look alive for a while, but without connection, it withers. So it is with you. Stay in me, and your healing will deepen into maturity. Stay in me, and your peace will turn into purpose. Stay in me, and your joy will overflow, even in the face of storms. I do not ask you to be perfect, only to be present. Come to me each day, even for a moment, and I will renew you again and again. Healing is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of our closeness. You will never have to walk alone again. That is my promise to you, eternal, unbreakable, sealed in love. I do not come and go like the tides. I remain. When I said, I will never leave you nor forsake you, I meant forever. You may not always feel me, but I am there, in the laughter, in the tears, in the stillness between heartbeats. My presence is not bound by your emotions. It is anchored in my covenant. Even in your darkest nights, when you wonder if I've turned away, I am standing beside you, holding the pieces of your life with unwavering care. I am the constant in your ever-changing world. My presence is not only comfort, it is transformation. When you dwell with me, you begin to see differently. Worry shrinks. Fear loses its authority. Love takes its rightful place at the center of your heart. I walk with you into your tomorrows, not as a distant God, but as a close companion, your shepherd, your defender, your friend. You will sense me in the unexpected moments, in the peace that settles when you should be panicking, in the strength that rises when you feel weak, in the quiet assurance that says, you are safe. That is me reminding you that my presence never departs. So give me your minutes, and I will give you eternity in return. Every moment spent in my presence is a seed of divine power planted in your spirit, growing into resilience, wisdom, and joy. I will heal you again and again, layer by layer, as you walk with me. You are not just restored, you are renewed daily by the power of my love. I am your healer, your restorer, your beginning and end. Stay close to me, and you will know peace beyond measure, life without fear, and love that never runs dry. My child, I am here, and I always will be. Amen.